how many of us come here and say, oh, so-and-so does not say hi to me, so I'm not going to that church? You're supposed to carry on and pray for them and work and invite Christ, that God will be able to speak to his own children, because he knows us. He created us. He can meet us at our lowest point. He knows who we are, and he knows how to speak to us. If I'm not able to speak to you, anyway, I shouldn't be a friend to everybody. If you offend me, I'll pray for you. I'll move on. God will speak to you because I have prayed for you. Now, the whole gospel point is about light and darkness. That's all about the gospel. God says, I am the light. Jesus comes and says, God, what you gave me, I have given your people. You gave me these people, and so I have given them what you told me. And then when he's going, he said, I've left you the Holy Spirit. So we see the three Trinity working together. And so God is asking us as parents too. Deuteronomy 6. As parents, God wants us to teach our children. Deuteronomy 6. Chapter 6, verse 6. They were instructed back then. Deuteronomy 6. They were instructed to give this, what God had given them, to their children. Never forget these commandments that I am giving you today. Teach them to your children. Repeat them when you are home and when you are away, when you are resting and when you are working. Tie them on your arms. Wear them on your foreheads as a reminder. Write them on your doorposts of your houses and of your gates. Why do you think there was this emphasis? Talk to them when you're resting. Talk to them when you're at work. Talk to them everywhere. When you're singing, when you're happy, when you're sad. Talk to them about these instructions, commandments that they were given. Because tie them on your forehead so that they can remember never to run away from them. Put them everywhere. Now we deal with dementia. Those of us who sometimes work with dementia people, they forget. When the first signs of dementia comes, people forget. You see them posting notes everywhere. My password, in the fridge, you see you have to go for oil change. If you're doing that, dementia is kicking in. I have to go. The children have appointment. Then you come over this here. I'm off on Wednesday. This is what I have to do. And pathfinders have this. I have to do this. So for us to remember, see them and you remember. So if they were taught about it then in Deuteronomy, what are we required to do as parents? We were supposed to take time and teach our children and read the Bible with our children, because when Jesus came, he had a whole multitude. He chose 12 to carry the mission. So God has subdivided us into families. So you're a father, you're a mother, you're an older child, you're a brother who's older. We need time to teach the little ones about God. Because we say the candles that we have to light, we have to have the light in us. And the light does not just come. So we have to study. We have to read with these little ones. I don't have trouble when people say the world is cruel. Because it's the world anyway. That's all they know. But us who know Christ, how do we get the little ones to know? We have to spend time with them. So, your light may not be lighting because of the dollar sign. I want to pick an extra shift so my children can be taken care by the older lady who came from home the other day. This older lady is not going to find time and read the Bible with my children. So we are giving out our duties that God had given us to spend time and teach the little ones. Teach of us, sing with them. Let them know who Samson was in the Bible. Let them know who Moses was in the Bible. Spend time with them. So because we are the moon and God is the sun, we are not reflecting the light that we are getting from the sun. So when the earth becomes in between the sun and the moon, what do we call it? The eclipse. So there is an eclipse in our life because of what we have chosen to do, what we have given the priority to do, as opposed to what God assigned us to do. We are supposed to teach these little children because everyone, remember the Christmas candles? Everyone has a light. Everyone has a candle to light. From the little one, remember, God does not have grandchildren. God has children. But he has subdivided us into families so that each can take care of these little ones so that together we can be Christmas candles. So there's a call this morning. I don't know what makes the eclipse in your life. Could be the dollar sign. You're chasing for an extra shift. So you are neglecting the work that you're given to do. And not necessarily the little ones only. There are people that we are working with who do not know Christ. So we need to reflect the light that we already got from Jesus so that we can walk and they can see the light. Sometimes you don't have to speak. Who knows that when you're quiet, when you're silent, people think you are the cleverest, you're the smartest when you're quiet. When you keep quiet just by shutting your mouth, people think that is the smart one. But when you keep on talking, do people like you when you talk all the time? They even have to analyze what you're talking about later. Was that true? But when you're quiet and silent and you speak once, they wait for you to speak all the time. Because what you're speaking is wisdom. So let not things here, the richness, the pride, hatred, whatever it is, the worries, bring the eclipse so that it will take us away from what we got from the Father that we are supposed to reflect to others. One thing that Joseph did in the Bible, only one thing, one little thing that he did in the Bible that he's a hero up to today. What one thing can you do? He was faithful to his God. He was very faithful to his God. So when Potiphar's wife came to him and wanting him to do sexual immorality, he said, no, this body is for Christ. And this body was created by God. This is a sanctuary, like the children say. This is a sanctuary. So I'm not going to make it dirty. So with only that one, we remember Joseph up to today. What do you have to give? What one thing do you have to give? That you will be a hero for it. Is it lying that you're doing that brings an eclipse? And we can pray that God will take this one away so that we can stand as his children. So we can reflect the light that we have already gotten from him. And we can carry our banner high and say, I belong to Christ. Because for sure, he's the only one who's the Son. But why does he bring it back to us and say, you are the light of the world? When he's the light of the world, he believes he has taught us. He believes we have heard what he taught us. He believes that we are going to learn how to do it and live this Christian life. Sometimes you don't have to say anything, my brethren. All you have to do is live the life that you know. That if we have taken away the trumpet of Friday evening at 6 o'clock, that trumpet can be seen in my life. That trumpet can be seen in your life. And then if the others are still doing the trumpet, we can live that life. And God will bring his children, whom you work with, whom you go to school with, and they do not see this light, they will look at you and say, this one is different. This one behaves different. I want to know what makes you different from others. I'll finish with a story. Down in the South, here in America, in a school of 1,200 students, there was a young girl by the name Helen. The school was rowdy. When I mean rowdy, it was rowdy, out of rules. So the children were smoking at school. The children were fighting at school. The children were doing immorality at school, lying, bringing guns to school, even shooting and killing teachers and killing each other. This one girl was 16 years old. In 16 years old, what grade are you? 11? 16? When you're 16 years old? What grade? 11? 10? 10. I don't know what 10. But that's the grade she was 16. She went to the principal. She thought about it. She read, when she was coming from home, the mom had turned on the channel for the preaching channel. And she heard about Christ. And she was wondering, if this Christ is this good, how come I am in this school that everything is rowdy? Children are doing whatever they want. So she wanted to make a difference. And so she went to the principal and said, "Sir, I know there is a peace for the world." Have you ever heard that? Peace for the world day that is coming. She said it was coming on a Friday. So she said, "I would love to plan for this and tell people about the peace of the world." The prince was like, "I don't think I've heard about this peace of the world day, but anyways, peace. So we need peace." Said, "Go ahead." So she thought what she can do to the whole school, that they can see or they can learn about peace, because it was rowdy at school. She went home, she prayed about it, and she said, she came up with this idea. She bought lollipops, so the candy, the lollipop. So then she wrote messages and she attached to the lollipop. So as you're coming, she stood out. As you're going out, she would hand you a candle, but a candy. But in that message, she had written a message from outside. There is peace of the world. There is peace of the world that's only found inside and not outside. That is what the message read, from outside. Because she did not want to do things that the principal was going to question. So as she wrapped, you take the paper, the piece of paper, and she wrapped it like this. So outside here, it read, "There's peace that comes from inside, not outside." Then inside, she wrote, "This peace can only be found in Jesus Christ." So that part was hidden around the candy. So when everybody went and they took their message and they read, you don't believe it. Like 350 students came up and said, "You're a Christian? I'm also a Christian. I'm also a Christian. I also know about Jesus Christ." So it took this girl to bring the energy out of the 350 to stand up as Christians. And they said, "We love Jesus and we know there's peace inside." But because the school was rowdy, they had kept their candle covered so that nobody could know they were Christians, and they lived rowdy like them. So when Helen stood up, the 350 stood up too and said, "We are also Christian. We experienced the peace." So it will take only you to make a difference. It will take just one talent that you got, you can speak with. You may not be a speaker up here. You may be one who collects garbage after the children go, but it will speak volumes. You may be only one who does something that others don't do at your place of work, but they will see you different and they will see Christ in your character. May God help us that we may light this candle and we may get this candle burning brighter, so that the rest whose candles are going out will see Jesus, and the candle will come up to life again. That together we can be Christian, we can be Christmas lights. We can light with different colors, but we can light to warm somebody else, so that we can all light our candles and we'll be Christians who are lighting the candle for Christ. I don't see Pastor. I don't know where Pastor went. I would love Pastor to come and pray for Christ's children who have had an eclipse in their life. That something has stood in between the sun and the moon. That we are not shining that light that we were given from Christ. That people can see the light because of this eclipse, because of the dollar sign that we are chasing, because of the worries of this world, because of whatever that has come and brought the eclipse, that we together we can bring these children to know the Lord. That they can also carry one, not many, just one candle or one thing like Joseph to stand for the truth, and the whole world will know who they are. God used little children in the past. He can use our children today if we do our work well as parents. Pastor. May God bless you all.